Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
Our special guest today is Diane Addington. She is with Food on Foot Foundation here in Morristown. Thank you for being here.
I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
So I'm sure most people do know about Food on Foot, but why don't you share with people who may not know what you all do for our community?
Okay. I've been volunteering there for 10 years. And the thing that really, the reason I chose Food on Foot to volunteer my time at is I love their model. They basically run the organization with volunteers, so there's no administrative cost. So every dollar that is given to Food on Foot basically goes for the end result of feeding mostly kids. You know, it's primarily a kids' food ministry. We send 627 bags every week to different schools in Hamlin County. That started out around 500 at the beginning of the school year, but it's up to 627 now.
Wow.
And then on Saturdays, we do another 300 family bags, and that's a drive-through. And people line up, you know, from Liberty Hill all the way up to the Food on Foot building. They'll start getting in line about 8 o'clock, and we start actually giving the food out at 11 until 12:30. This past weekend, we give out Thanksgiving boxes, and there was a wonderful, generous organization that gave us enough money to buy turkeys for everyone.
Oh, wow.
And we gave them, the basket had enough to fix Thanksgiving dinner for the family. So everyone that came through that line should have Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. We're very excited about that.
How many boxes did you give away?
About 327.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's a lot.
Worked out good. And then the children, they always get a special bag on Saturdays, you know. And it could be some of the same kids, we're not really sure. We don't know the names of the children that are in the schools. The teachers and principals and the school nurses let Food on Foot know how many children they need. And so we make sure that they have a bag to take home with them for the weekend. And it's done very discreetly. You know, the children that receive the bags, the teachers make sure that the bag's put in their backpack. So the kids, when they get home, they've got their food, and it's awesome. It's a great thing. And then we do some very special things. Christmas is a big deal.
I'm sure.
At Food on Foot. And we do the backpack program, which you volunteered at, and we really appreciate all that you've done in the past. But the school program, primarily, that's during the whole school year. And then in the summertime, it's a Saturday feeding program for the kids, and families are year-round. With Christmas coming up, we do a lot of toys. We do like balls, big stuffed animals. The kids always get treat bags. We have a lot of individual donors. We have about 500 individual donors. The $20 a month adds up, and it really helps.
I'm sure.
The cost to do the school program is $4,000 a week, and the Saturday program is about $3,000. The difference is the Saturday bags, it costs about $12 a bag to do the Saturday bag, and about $8 a bag to do the school bag. So we work really hard to raise money to make sure we get to feed the kids. And we do other special things like the backpack program, of course, and we do around Easter, make that very special for Easter baskets, things like that. But primarily it's food, people that really need the food. Saturdays it's very heartwarming. It's a lot of elderly people. It's a lot of families. It's homeless. People living out of their cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty amazing. We have a lot of different organizations. They'll come on different Saturdays. We have over 200 volunteers that really do the day-to-day work, and Carolyn and Bobby are amazing. They've been doing this for 17 years now.
Wow.
And they have never taken a salary. It's her heart. It's a ministry in her heart that she really wants to stop child hunger. And she's made a lot of inroads, lots of friends. And normally people that will come to volunteer want to come back.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, they'll start with packing the bags, and then they'll want to come on a Saturday to hand the food out. And once they do it, it's like, oh, we want to come back, and that's wonderful. So it allows us to use the money to feed the
Now
kids.
you mentioned Carolyn and Bobby. Can you tell people what their last name is?
Oh, Carolyn Bobby Jarnigan. Carolyn is actually the founder of Food on Foot.
Yes.
Her husband Bobby is a retired truck driver. He didn't get to be retired at all.
Because she sent him to go pick up food.
Yeah, as soon as he retired, he was working at Food on Foot, but he wouldn't have it any other way.
Sure.
They are just amazing. And we do have Josh Brady is a guy that helps a lot at Food on Foot. And but everybody else is just, they're basically from different organizations, like Remax and a lot of other organizations that come and help. Awesome. And it's great. A lot of organizations will do food drives too, and that's a great help. They'll call and ask, what would you like? And, we tell them things that we put in the packs for the children, or if it's a special event like Christmas or Thanksgiving, well, sometimes it's the canned food or cake mix or cereal, whatever we need. And so they'll do a drive, and they'll bring those. We just had a company that did they called it Socktoberfest instead of October, and they collected socks. So we're going to be handing out those socks Christmas when we do the December 23rd. We'll be handing out socks for everybody. So
okay.
And we've done coat drives, we shoe drives, we've done just whatever the need is. We'll get a lot of people together and make it happen. So.
Well, and I know Carolyn has those contacts from over the years where, if they have something coming up and she needs food, she knows exactly who to call. And I mean, we're talking like, the head of Campbell's, or,
That's right.
She calls these people and they know who she is, and she'll tell them what's going on. And the next thing you know, she's sending Bobby with a truck to go pick up all this food.
It's great. It's great. It's like the support of the community is wonderful. And you're right about Carolyn's contacts. It's amazing how many people call her and say, hey, what do you need? And that's great. And she always has a need.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she's ever been able to say nothing.
Well, no, I mean, people eat food every day, and you have to have food every day, so there's
exactly.
always going to be a need out there.
Yeah.
So you've already done your Thanksgiving pickup. When you mentioned December 23rd,
Yes.
where will that be, and kind of what's the hours on that?
The food, when we hand out food, it's always at number 1 Brookline. It's a little street there. It crosses Liberty and it goes out on the other end on Morse Boulevard. But it's amazing setup. I mean, because we can block that number 1 Brookline. I mean, with traffic, we have amazing support from the Morristown Police. They were wonderful this past Saturday. It ran so smooth. Everybody was so happy. Things went really well there. So what they do, they line up there on number 1 Brookline Drive. The Food on Foot building is at the end of Brookline Drive. And they just come through the line, and then we give them, on a normal Saturday, we'll give them the food or whatever we have. Sometimes we have milk, sometimes we have fresh eggs. We recently had 25-pound boxes of tomatoes, and we had apples donated from Apple Orchard. So it's what we get, and we provide. But for Christmas, it'll be a basket similar to what we did for Thanksgiving, and but we do ham instead of turkey. And Carolyn already has got a supporter for the hams, and she's already picked them up. So
there you go.
So we're excited about that, because last year it was hard. We didn't think we were going to be able to get it, but we did. So but Carolyn and Bobby, they'll go to just such lengths. Like last year, they couldn't get a bulk number of hams. They couldn't get 300. There was a shortage. They went from store to store to store. I mean, 3 or 4 counties to get what they could. And I don't know how many weeks it took them, but they got enough. But that was very tiring. But they got enough, and they just stepped out in faith, because when they got those first 10, they didn't know they could get the 290, but they did.
Wow!
So it's pretty amazing.
So, do you all have any kind of qualification program for people that want to come on a Saturday to pick up, or is it welcome, if you show up? How does that work?
We do not qualify people. If they will sit there in that line, that tells us that they need the food. And there may be some that come through it that don't need it, but if it is, it's rare. And most of our people, I'm going to say probably 90% of the people that come through on Saturday come through every Saturday. I've been coming every Saturday. Very few have I ever missed. And I know a lot of them by name. Now, there are times that there's new ones that come through, and recently there's been more of them because there's been a bigger need because of the rise in food costs.
Sure.
But most of them are what we call our regulars. And they're like I said, a lot of elderly people living on fixed income. And then a lot of families, some people that just are living out of their cars. And that's probably the saddest, the one, or the people that walk up and they're homeless. And, you know, we've had people ask for blankets, for tents. And if we can find them, we'll get them. You know, but we don't always. I mean, if someone has donated it, you know, we'll be happy to give it to them, but that's pretty rare.
Well, and I know there are organizations out there that are more geared to help the homeless people as far as like tents and blankets and things like that. So, all right. Is there a website or anything if people wanted to get more information and find out about volunteer opportunities?
Absolutely. It's TennesseeFoodOnFoot.com, and you can go to the website and then go to our Facebook page from there. And the first thing on our Facebook page tells you exactly how you can donate, how you can get involved. It's got Carolyn's phone number on there. She will answer your call. I mean, she's amazing. Her phone never stops. And, I mean, she has people calling her all the time. So we're easy to get in touch with. You can put a message on Facebook. I'm not good at it, but I do the Facebook. I just started doing that, so I need a little coaching. But
Amy's your girl.
I do respond. So and if people, they can always stop by on a Saturday. I'm always looking for volunteers because sometimes something will come up like a day from now, and we haven't had it. I don't have volunteers, so I have to find them. And I've got a lot of them, but, you know, that's short notice, and a lot of our people are very busy. So it's nice to have a group of people that can come. And so we always take names and phone numbers, and we'll reach out. So.
And the things that you would be volunteering for are going to be like packing the food bags, handing them out, packing backpacks, whatever you have a need
is
for.
at the time. It could be cutting tags off of Christmas gifts. It could be putting together treat bags for Christmas. There's just a variety of things depending on the season.
Gotcha. But you're not having volunteers call to get donations or anything, because I think some people think that's what they would have to do.
No, we do not. No.
Okay. And if somebody wants to make a monetary donation, what's the best way to go about doing that?
We have a post office box that they can mail it. They can do it through PayPal if they want to. Send a check, if they want to. It's or
bring a truckload of cash.
We
right
love that. Or if you, there's a lot of people that just like to bring the food, and that's good. The one thing about that is if you don't have a tax ID number. With Food on Foot being 501c3, they can buy their food and not pay the sales tax on it, and that's 9.75% in some cases. So that's a good little chunk of money if you're spending a lot of money. So the money's good, but if you prefer to do food, we'd love to have it. So, and the one thing that the only caveat is Carolyn cannot hand out any food that is not within date. So.
Don't bring you out of date stuff and try to pass it to somebody.
That she is not allowed to do that.
I understand completely on that.
So, but other than that, we take anything that they want to bring. It'd be great to have it. So we appreciate it.
All right, good deal. Anything else about Food on Foot that you want to share with people?
No, just if you have a heart for volunteering, if you want to be blessed as much as you bless others. I highly recommend you get involved. It's a great organization, and like I said, one of the things that just I fell in love with is the fact that most of the money, goes to the end cause of buying food, and a lot of nonprofits, that's not the case.
Yeah, you got all these administrative layers.
Yeah.
And to me, I think it's great that it is a local organization that, like, somebody in our community has took this on and has made it become what it is.
And it's a great organization.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with
Thank
us. I
you.
hope you have
Thank
a
you
good
so much.
Thanksgiving.
I hope you do too. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
And if you want to go ahead and go, we're going to start talking about mortgages and real estate.
Okay.
So
Well, good
that's
luck
the
with
boring
that.
part.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too.
Move that chair over a little bit.
I think we might need to nominate Carolyn for president.
Hey,
She
I'm
gets
telling you,
the
she can
job
get it.
done.
She sees a need. She makes sure
That's
it's,
right.
it's filled for
Yeah.
sure.
I have to put her on the ballot. So.
All right. So where are we at on mortgage rates?
Still down a little bit. I looked at an FHA today, like in the upper sixes.
Awesome.
So yeah, I haven't seen sixes in a while. THDA is still about 7.1 and conventionals in the low sevens, but definitely still down some. So fingers crossed they'll stay that way. Get us through the holidays and hopefully have people. Of course, people can get a contract now and be in it by Christmas. So still got time for that. So
If everybody's working, that's the problem. Trying to buy a house right now is you got everybody taking off and extended weekends and everything else. But
we'll make it work. We'll work and get it done.
Has your applications went up in the past week
Actually,
or so?
it's been a very busy week. Had 2 closings today and been a very busy week as far as new applications. So I actually got a refinance today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Certain circumstances, but
Yes, and there's always going to be a circumstance where something might make sense. But
well, the values are there. People's got more value in their homes right now probably than they've had ever. And so if you've got student loans that you got to make payments on, you got high interest credit cards with high balances, it would definitely be something to look at.
for sure,
Definitely.
for sure. All right. Well, we've had a lot of new properties that have went on the market. And I was telling somebody today, it's crazy to me how many phone calls I have gotten just in this short week that we've had of people who are like, well, I've been thinking about it and I think I'm ready to do it. And some of them are land, but some of them are houses. And this is just not the time of year that most people are calling wanting to sell their property. Most people are going to, at this point in the year, most people just say, well, we're going to wait till after the holidays and we'll put it on, the first of the year. So, I did a video this morning that we were talking about, what the experts say are going to happen in 2024. And of course, they're predicting that, the number of home sales will increase because they're banking on rates coming back down a little bit more. And home prices would appreciate some. And then I was at my desk a little while ago reading an article, and the guy said that home prices are going to decline in 2024 because of something. I don't even remember what. And I'm like, y'all can't even agree. Either are they going to go up or they're going to go down? It just kind of cracked me up.
Nobody agrees to disagree anymore, I think.
Well, economics tells you that as long as you have that demand, home prices are not going to come down.
Right.
And if the rates do come down, then that's just going to spark more activity. So
there's a lot of people on the sidelines. I hear it, all the time. I'm going to wait till rates come down. And like you said, a lot of when they do, that's going to bring more people back into home searches. And
they're going to have a lot more competition than they would right now. And I had ran the numbers just to see, from the 1st of January until now, how did we compare to last year in 2022? And so, last year, from the first of the year until around November 20th, we had over 700 home sales already year to date.
Okay.
This year, we've only had 570. So the number of transactions has went down about 20%.
Oh, wow.
But the median days on the market went down by 40%. Because the median days on the market for the entire year right now is sitting at 18.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then the average home sales price has risen, I think it was 6% higher this year as opposed to last year. So, yeah, I was kind of amazed. I didn't think there would be that big a discrepancy in the number of closings that we've had, but that's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
21% drop is nothing to sneeze at.
Nope.
So, and that's 571 year to date is a low number because normally every year we're going to have between 700 to 800. You know what I'm saying? So that just, I've been busy, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of my business is land and things like that. So sometimes I guess I think we're selling more than maybe we are. But anyway, All right. Anything else that you need to share with us about rates or mortgages? Anything exciting?
No, just still, like I said, not a bad time to buy and check into see what the rates and payments, because even these dropping 0.5% will help on that monthly payment. So people that if you're on the fence, it's definitely time to maybe get off the fence and talk to a lender and get with the realtor and definitely start the home search.
So you made a social media post last week, I believe, talking about
the family opportunity mortgage. Yes.
And I know there's a lot of people who have no idea what that is, didn't even know that existed. So why don't you recap that for us real quick?
Basically what that program is, if you have an elderly parent or potentially a disabled child who is not able to purchase a home on their own, it allows you, for example, you could buy for your parents and do like a conventional mortgage with the lower down payment and the better interest rates versus you going and buying an investment property for your parents. So it's a great opportunity. And
so what's the down payment?
5% is the minimum.
Okay.
5%.
So instead of having to buy it as an investment and put 25 to 30% down for your parents to live in, you can buy it through this family opportunity mortgage with 5% down.
Yes.
And the money that they would have used to pay a nursing home, they can basically pay you rent to cover that mortgage.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And it gives you if you bought investment property today, that rate's probably going to be maybe 8.5% on a rate versus you might be able to get 7% because under that program. So better interest rate, lower down payment.
Now, does the house have to be within a certain proximity of the person taking out the mortgage?
No, you just have to document that person is going to, the parents or the child would occupy the property and that they're not able to purchase a home on their own. So, and usually we just do that by, get their income documentation to show that they don't make enough to qualify, things like that. So.
Okay. All right. Very
interesting. It's a great opportunity.
All right. So we will be back with you next week. We are booking into 2024. So if you have a local business or a charity that you would like to have featured on here, please let us know. You can leave a comment or you can send a DM. I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.